Nope, not doing that. Anyway. Hi guys, this is As the Crochets, because I'm Crow and I crochet. I thought I'd walk us through the projects that I'm working on for my first YouTube video, just so we can have a good standard of where I'm at, what I'm working on, and see where we go from here, see what the projects develop. So, ta-da, this is my giant pile of projects. Let's get started. Where are we starting? Probably one of the oldest projects first. So I love these project bags. My grandmother made me these. For this first project, this is actually rather a long ongoing project because I started it a while ago and made a draft and then it just wasn't good enough. I am using what I believe is Bernat Baby Blanket Velvet. It's very soft and squishy and plush and wonderful, but for this project, I'm actually using Megan Lapp's Crochet Imkins book, which is very shiny in the ring light. I'm making a little mushroom boy for my brother. I'm making a little mushroom boy. And I'm going to be using the white in Bernat Velvet and I have this yarn over there and I can't remember what it's called. It's on my shelf. It's red, it's plush, it's sparkly, it's wonderful. That's that. First project underway. Get in there. Second project is one that I'm actually very close to finishing. This is going to be a granny hexagon cardigan. I've finished one half of it. I am using the Yarnspirations Caron Colorama Halo for this project. So I've finished one ball of yarn already. This is one whole ball of yarn. I did a center pull, so it starts at the darkest part of the yarn and goes all the way to the lightest. And then I'm making the second half out of green since the first half is purple. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this for myself or if I'm going to list it on my Etsy or my Shopify, both of which are going to be linked in the description box below. So check those out. I haven't decided if I'm going to list this yet just because it's so cool looking and I kind of want to keep it for myself, but it's also a little small for me, so I might list it once it's finished. You'll definitely get to see it posted because I'm pretty sure I'm going to talk about this nonstop once I finish it. Third project. This is going to be a skirt. This one also not sure if I'm going to list it. Kind of making stuff for myself right now, kind of making stuff for listing, simply because I have so many ideas, so little time, and so little yarn. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a baby crocheter. I have not collected that much yarn yet. Future me, cut in a clip of me showing off my yarn wall. It's very small. It's right there behind the camera. Just stick it right there. Perfect. This is the skirt that I'm working on. It is very small at the moment. I haven't ripped the old one apart yet, but I ran out of the yarn that I was using really quickly, and it's like not even mini skirt length. So I decided to remake it using Value Pound Plus of the Big Twist in the color cream. And then I'm doing colored stripes in Big Twist Olive Drab, I think is the color. And then these are the yarns that I was actually working on the other skirt in, which is Big Twist yellowish color. And I don't know what these are. I got these colors from an estate sale that I went to with a good friend of mine where we got like $400 worth of yarn for like 45 bucks. I'm working on a color striped like mod block skirt. So it's just gonna have a whole bunch of color stripes and it's gonna be like bodycon maxi length. So it's just gonna go all the way down my legs. And that is why I'm not sure if I'm listing it or keeping it for myself, because this is going to be a huge project. And I know I'm gonna be really proud of it when it's done, but I also don't know if it's gonna fit me properly, and I am not the type to rip apart a project and restart it once I discover it doesn't fit me. So we're gonna find out. I need to keep the green out because I'm also using this green for another project that I will show you momentarily. Project number 4. Oh hey, my t-shirt yarn. Found it. Currently holding a Jilly cardigan. I'm using a bunch of different colors for this cardigan. Where's the other one? Okay, so This is Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Low Pill Fiber. They're all Yarn Bee colors. And this is the color Mustard. We've got the color Bruschetta, got Viridescent, and I could be getting some of these backwards. I'm honestly not sure. Dark Gray, and the color Ivory. I'm just making literally piles of granny squares to stitch together at some point when I feel like stitching them together. For the edges and the stitching, I'm actually going to be using this in the color Windswept Wishes, which kind of combines all of the colors that I was using. And I'm actually super excited about it. I think it's gonna look really, really cool when I'm done with it. However, I have 1,000,000,001 granny squares to make and even more to sew together, and I really don't feel like doing that anytime soon. So this is kind of a long-term project. And save all my labels so I remember what colors I'm using. Always save your labels, folks. It's very helpful. Project number 5? Question mark? Project number 5 is a very, very beginning project, and I'm using 2 different brands of yarn for it. I'm using Big Twist Twinkle in the color black and Red Heart Super Saver in the color saffron. And I'm actually making a tapestry crochet, which I'm going to have to show you the pattern for. Future me, insert pattern right here, because that will be helpful. And it's going to be about this big, yay big. And I'm stretching it a little bit just to get it to lay flat because it's so thin right now, but I have not made a lot of progress on it. I've just got the bottom of the tang of the blade, the tang handle, cross guard. It's the cross guard. So I've just got the bottom of the cross guard right now. That is my very first tapestry crochet project. It's way easier than I thought it was gonna be, so we're making good progress on it. It's a lot of single crochet. I don't know if it's just me, but I have a habit of, I have to have either color changes or stitch changes, or I just lose interest and it goes into the whip pile forever. Maybe it's just me. Tell me if it's not. Project number 6. This is a mess. This is going to be a dress. Project number 6, I'm actually using the Lion Brand Yarns Mandala Yarn Cake. And it's an absolutely gorgeous color. It's like browns and yellows and grays. And it is the color Yeti. How is this a Yeti? This is going to be the strap of the dress. And it's just single crochet right now. It's just gonna be like a strap that goes over the shoulder, but I have a whole design laid out for this. I'm freehanding the whole thing to see if this works, to see if I can design my own crochet clothing, but we're gonna see how it goes. I'm also keeping it in this super cute hedgehog bag that my grandmother got for me. My grandmother funds most of my crochet projects and spoils the crap out of me. You will hear her come up in a lot of videos. She's amazing. But, oh, there's my 4.5mm hook. Project number something. I don't remember what number we're on. This is one of my hat in progress bags. This one's from my mom, and it is a really, really pretty velour yarn, I think. It almost feels like the Juicy Couture yarn, but it's much older. I have had this yarn since I started learning to knit / crochet, which was probably a good 10 to 12 years ago. I didn't start crocheting seriously until this year. Picked it up again after taking a good like 6 or 7 year break from crafting. I picked it up in January and I started crocheting seriously January of this year, 2024. Just to date this video real quick. I've had this yarn for a very, very, very long time, and I've been meaning to make my mom a hat out of it because she's a big texture-oriented person, just like I am, and this texture is one of her favorites. So I've been meaning to make a hat for her out of this forever. So we're gonna finish that at some point. It's just really hard to work with because it's so soft, and it's a lot thinner than most chunky yarns. So I have to use a smaller hook size, but then it's super soft, so it just slips off the hook. It's a struggle, but I will finish it at some point. Another hat. I got this little bag at a local quilt show that they have in my town every year. This was the first time they had the show since COVID, actually. Is that the same yarn? Yes, I have more of this yarn. Excellent. This is actually a hat in progress that I'm working on. Keep a hook in here because this is my to-go project bag. This is my project bag that I bring with me whenever I'm like, okay, I'm headed out somewhere and I might need something to work on. I bring a hat because it's super easy, half double crochet. And sometimes I double strand, sometimes I don't, depends on the thickness of the yarn. I don't know what weight they are other than itty bitty, but it's a really pretty pale pink and this bluish, greenish, whitish color variegation. Makes the pale pink look almost white, and the blue-green really pops out. I just think it's pretty. One more project, two more projects. There's two more. This is also for my mom. This is gonna be a sweater. I am using Big Twist Tweed in the color dark green. I think it's dark green, it just says DK green. I am working on the back panel first, just because the back panel is the biggest panel. There goes my yarn ball. Back panel is the biggest panel, so I'm working on that one first just to get the sizing right. And I've gotten quite a few rows already. I'm just doing it in half double crochet just so it's a little bit sturdier and not as see-through. And the final project is probably the project that has taken me the longest out of any project I've ever done. The viral flower coasters. I've gotten the pots done, and I have gotten one coaster done, my draft coaster, and it's sitting on my desk. It looks okay at best, but I'm liking that the second draft I'm doing looks a lot better because they're a lot more size consistent. I made the mistake of using different hook sizes throughout the project on the draft, and that just made it look really, really messy. But I've gotten the flower pots done. It's super simple because they can also be used as the fourth coaster of the set. I've gotten 5 coasters. I'm making 6 total because I'm making 2 sets. So 5 of these have the first layer of green on them. One of them has the second layer of green, which is the leaves and the flower base, so I just need to add the flowers to it. I'm going through and doing it in chunks just so I don't have to repeatedly change yarn and track it down. This is the other project that I'm using the olive drab for. Working my way through and getting all of these to look like this before I start on the flowers, because the flowers is where it gets annoying. I did not realize how hard this project would be by the time that I started it, and I am regretting my decision a little bit, but I promised my mom and my grandmother that I would make them some late Mother's Day presents in the form of these coasters because they both freaked out when I showed them what it looked like finished, and I'm regretting it a little bit, but it'll be okay. We'll figure it out. Oh, and this is the color that I'm using for the flowers. You know what? Let me show you what the finished one looks like. The finished one looks like this. The flowers are okay. They're not perfect. They're tolerable. They're not exactly what the tutorial showed, but honestly, I like them a lot better than what the tutorial showed. It also has a weird stitch right here. I didn't count things correctly, so the leaf extends over 2 spots instead of just 1 because I didn't do my math properly, which is why this is my draft. I made sure on these ones I counted correctly. But yeah, those are my ongoing projects. Now I figured I'd show you guys a couple of things that I finished, just to give you a little bit more of a taste of what I've done versus what I'm doing. Hats. Hats I have made tons of. I am working on just burning through scrap yarn by making hats, and I have made 2 rainbow ones. This one is a regular beanie and this one is a kitty ear beanie. I have made this pink and green hat, kitty ear. I've made a cotton candy hat, regular beanie. Teal, regular beanie. Golden, like bronzish, kitty ear beanie. And a baby blanket pink and blue and green and yellow and white kitty ear beanie. And I do have all of these listed on my Etsy, as well as I'm going to be posting a couple pictures to Instagram of me modeling these, just so you can see what they look like. This is a dice bag that I've made. It can hold, I think, 10 sets of D&D dice, like the sets of 7 dice. It can hold 10 of them, despite how small it looks. It's actually super sturdy. The stitching is really close together, so even when it's full, it doesn't stretch too much. And yeah, it's got little wooden beads and a cord, a braided yarn cord for the tie, and it just tightens up like this, and you can just tie it shut, and it'll hold all your dice needs. I made this little purse, and my grandma was kind enough to line it for me, so it has really cute fabric on the inside. It's all lined because I accidentally took it out with me to a play that my brother was doing, and I lost my treasured 4mm hook. And the last thing is this giant 6-foot pink scarf. It's bright as hell, and I feel like if you are out in the snow wearing this, whoever you are with will never lose you. I am now surrounded by yarn projects, so I'm gonna have to put all these away. I've got more coming soon. I can't wait to show you guys what I've been working on, the progress I'm making, all the new things I start. I'd love to hear from your comments what I should do next as a beginner in crochet. I want to see if I can make all the projects. I've got tons of yarn, and I'm gonna get more, obviously, because I'm gonna keep using the stuff that I have. So yeah, let me know what I should work on next, which projects you're excited to see, and just whatever you're thinking. Thanks guys, have a good one.